Welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and our weekly Cash or Trash, where we look back at the hot comics of this past week and make predictions sure to go wrong for what they're going to do in the future. And that's by we, I always mean myself and my man, Marcus Circumstances. What is going on, sir?
Good to be back for another episode of Cash or Trash, and the West Coast Avengers are back. Let's go.
Yes, we do have West Coast Avengers. Always a good thing in Marcus's eyes. The rest of us, you know. We had Sickotron in here early tailgate. Appreciate you, sir. Jacob here wondering why we were late. Well, he didn't wonder that. He said good evening, but yeah, we were a little late because I had to ask Marcus a question and I was late. My man Deep House is in here. I gotta shake that moneymaker here. Jamie things like, well, I mean, I guess you can. So nobody's stopping you. Nobody is stopping you. Yeah, you know, it happens. It happens. Gordon, what is going on, sir? So yes, we are here. We're talking comics. We're talking the hot books of this past week, and pretending like we know what we're talking about. You know, because it's fun. It's fun.
We're all experts here.
That's right. We all know everything. And yeah, we got 17 books to talk about, some shows, some option news, some buzz. Got a little bit of everything this week. So hey, Marcus, you ready? You want to dig in and see what we can what we got to look at this week?
Let's do it. I'm down.
All right. Make ourselves a little bigger. First up, we got American Vampire #1. Hitting the list for no reason other than Key Collector put it on as, hey, these are his Nick's picks, and now it's a $4 to $12 book, and $99 to $125 because it's written by Scott Snyder, and Scott Snyder is hot right now with the Absolute stuff, and it always annoys me when Nick says, hey, you should look out for something, and then he confirms it by putting it on the hot list when it's still going for mostly around cover price. But your thoughts on this one, Marcus?
Well, I don't think it was the volume that got it on, or I don't think it was the price that got it on the list, though. It was the volume. And we have to admit that the Key Collector, it moves markets. The app can move the market. And I think he definitely did. I actually really enjoy Nick's picks that he does. He seems to do it pretty randomly now. It was almost a while ago, but
used to be a weekly thing,
yeah, but now it's just random. But I actually always enjoy it. Even when there's no books I care about.
It always just bothers me a little bit because he and Tom have this relationship, and I feel like they shouldn't put a book on just because Nick's picks caused it to boost in sales. I feel like that's, you know what I mean? It's just, there's a little bit of a conflict of interest there that just bothers me just a little bit. But
they talked about it. They did mention
it.
They
do talk about it. So they don't try to like hide that. So I do credit them for that. But it's still... it's a gray area for me. It's a gray area. Christina, what's going on?
If they were secretive about it, about their relationship, then yeah. But I think that we all understand Key Collector can move the market, and him posting something can increase sales, which will put it on the list. So I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I would still put this as I wrote down Trap just because I was annoyed that it was on the list, but probably an I'll be back. It's more accurate given the prices it's going for. Your thoughts on this, Marcus?
I agree. I'll be back. I'm interested in the read. You know, I am a Scott Snyder fan. I love his book Noctera. I would have liked to have seen Nick put Noctera on this list because where's my Noctera buzz at? Damn it.
That book no buzz good. For Noctera, man. That buzz is gone.
Don't listen to John's Comics with Kids. It's a great book. I really enjoy it. I want more of it. I would have rather have seen that book back in the mix, but this one looks interesting. I'll be back, though.
All right. Next, we got Little Sex Criminals #1 because apparently this project by Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky that supposedly Prime Video is working on a show for this is what's hitting the list. Apparently Margot Robbie's production company, and I cannot pronounce that guy's name, but
I was like, how do you say his name? I don't know.
I can't say it.
Kumanji? I don't know.
It's like Kumanji. Yeah, he's a famous actor, but I can't pronounce his name. Anyway, he's supposedly attached. $15 to $40, 9.8, 1 to 125. If you're paying 40, I feel like this is probably a trap. If you're paying 25, it's probably more of an I'll be back. If you're paying 15, you're probably okay. Your thoughts on this one, Marcus?
Yeah, usually the case. If you're at the low end, you're okay, but at the high end, you're crazy. I would, again, as most cases, when you're specking like this, I don't like to come in at the slab level. I like to come in at the raw level and build it to a slab. That's where the real money is going to be made if you got a winner. So I would rather go raw on this. $15 sounds like a good flyer. Anything above that, I just definitely I'll be back. This is a long ways away from being on screen, so no reason
Yeah.
to.
I read the first trade of this a long time ago, and I never went back. I enjoyed it, but I never. But it also didn't hook me enough that I ever went back. I might have to reread that trade and see if I want to read it again, just because now that it's just something to put back in my stack and reread because it's been a long time.
Yeah, the
I remember
premise is
enjoying it, but I also know I didn't go back and buy more trades. So maybe I didn't. So we'll have to
yeah,
see.
for the premise is that they find out when they have sex, the time stops, and
Yeah,
so
they
they
can
use
stop
it.
time, and then they use that to commit robberies and crimes as they're
Yeah,
during the time stop. So they have to have sex in
interesting,
these places, and then they go rob the bank. They have
interest, interesting concept, I think, and the actor who they've got was great on Silicon Valley, so I think he
yeah.
can be really funny. He actually, I think he might be the writer on it as well because they said the writers of The Big Sick, which is actually him and his wife are the writers of that
Oh,
one.
nice.
So I think he's going to be the writer on this as well. And I got, I believe in this one, like I said, but no reason to rush. Long ways away. We talked about it many
I
times.
mean, obviously the title implies one thing, and obviously there is like in order to use their ability, they have to have sex, like the two characters we're talking about. But it's mostly a comedy. It's mostly
Yeah.
a comedy from what I remember. So um, keep out saying it may work out better as a film series than a comic. Well, let's have to see. I know a lot of people that do really like it. So next, we got Highlander #0 from 2006, which is way later after these movies and TV shows and all that was done before we ever got a comic. But we're getting a remake. Henry Cavill is playing the Connor McLeod role. $8 to $25, 9.8, 100 to 140. Your thoughts here, Marcus?
Highlander is actually one of those pieces of pop culture history that I am not up on. I actually have plans of going back and watching the original stuff just because I like to know what's going on with pop culture stuff. This one is interesting. I'm going to have to say I'll be back, obviously, because we're so far out from anything happening. But,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a 25 center, so there's probably quite a few copies of this thing, but $8 doesn't seem like too much money if you're coming in on the raw side.
No.
But chasing it, this is not original to the comics, that makes it weaker. So there's no reason to get too excited about this.
Yes, Gordon, there is a variant that goes for a little bit more, maybe significantly more. I forget now. But yeah, these I actually did watch when I was a kid. I watched these movies when I was a kid. I even watched some of the TV show when I was in college age that was like the Duncan MacLeod and that they did follow up. I mean, they're fun. Like the original movie is fun. Some of the sequel, I watched a couple of the sequel movies. Yeah, they're not very good. But the original with Sean Connery and Clancy Brown as the big bad it's pretty good. I mean, it's 80s action stuff. You know how that goes, but it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So at least I remember it being good. I probably haven't watched it.
Yeah, that's part of rewatching is like, is this still good?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, put him on your radar. Lost track of him once in the 90s. And pretty much that sounds about right. Hey, House of L, what's going on, sir? I remember enjoying the show also. So, all right, next, we got a little DC Comics presents #47, first appearance of He-Man. Basically, same reason this was on the list last week. Raw copies are still kind of in that same range, 100 to 260 on raw sales. But a 9.8 went from being around $1,000 to we had like 1,000 to 1,300, and then this week we had a $1,540 sale that put it back on the list because the trailer dropped here. Still, just based on timing, I think we're probably still in the worth it range. Although that 9.8 started to get a little high because the movie will be out right about the time we do the look back. But so I would say I'll be back and buy this in a year and not in 6 months. But your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, I agree totally. Worth it 6 months. I'll be back in about the year time frame. But this one has a chance to be a worth it past that. I think a lot of people were surprised by that He-Man trailer, and it it brought in it brought in a lot of new people who had no plans of watching it, myself included. So this one could have legs, man. We'll see.
I will say, like I said last week, is the trailer made me go from this is going to be a dumpster fire, which is what I assumed about the movie, to it might be a dumpster fire, but they made a cool trailer. So I mean, so
they got people's attention, and that's something.
It did get people's attention in a positive way. I still think the whole thing about including Earth at all, I think makes it probably ends up with some weird scene at some point where these characters are on Earth streets, and it probably doesn't. And I feel like that won't work the way they want it to. Like that they should just leave them on Eternia, and I think it would be better. But we'll see. We'll see how they pull it off. Or someone will see. I don't know if I'll ever watch it. I probably won't watch it in the theater, but at some point maybe. All right, next we got a cover hitting the list. Superman number 34. The Mario Fochelli anime variant of Superman powering up like he's Goku, and he's screaming in Japanese, "Dark Side." Your thoughts on this one? This one's going for $15 to $30, Marcus.
It is a cool cover, and I think that, manga anime style might win out in the end. So maybe that one gives this one, legs.
You don't know, manga's already won. Like,
yeah,
they sell way more manga in America than we sell comic books at this point. Manga has won. It is way more popular than traditional comic books. There's definitely some things that traditional comics could learn from them, but I do think this is kind of a fun cover. It's not one I would pay more than cover price for, but it is kind of a fun, especially given the nature of the DCKO event, that it's kind of a fighting thing to have like this kind of manga fighting cover. I think it's fun. I don't think I would pay $15 to $30 for it. Yeah, I think it's probably an I'll be back, but still kind of a fun one.
Yeah, I get it. I guess he's saying Dark Side in the language, that caption there. So I get the hype for it, but overpaying for it seems silly. So I'm going to have to say I'll be back as well.
No. Next, we got Absolute Wonder Woman number 16, the Gilliam March variant of the new Absolute Zatanna. Now, she's already appeared in the book, so this is not her first appearance, although she does have more of an appearance here than, I guess they may say this is a full and the others were cameo appearances, but she's in several scenes in the other books. Obviously, they made the swap, you put the fishnets up top and the black down on the bottom. But yeah, so this is the new Absolute Zatanna. This one is going for $11 to $20. Your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, normally this would be such an easy I'll be back. No question, I'll be back. But the Absolute phenomenon does seem to have some legs, some legitimacy to it. And so given that this is a first cover of a first appearance in this world, I'm going to have to reluctantly agree with you and say worth it. I'm a little scared of it, but watching the trend, I can't go against it.
That's where I'm at. The reason I put worth it on this one is I feel like it hasn't went crazy. It's in that $10 to $20 range, with most of the sales looking like they're settling in about $14 or $15. So it hasn't gone completely insane. So I feel like at $15, this is probably with the momentum Absolute's got, is probably not a bad price for this book. I wouldn't go to the 20 or to the high end of this. I wouldn't go above the high end of this where it's currently setting. I do have high hopes for this version of this character. I'm loving the Absolute Wonder Woman book, and I have high hopes for this version. So we'll see. But looks like Cyclotron's a little behind us. He was still on the Superman book, or maybe the comment just came up slow. Let's see. Absolute Zatanna. It took me a second, Deep House. It took me a second. So, but yeah, that's where I put worth it. Any other thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Mark, man, I haven't heard that name in a while. It makes me want to go back and read Carmen. I love that book.
No, I never got around to reading that one. I should go back. Let's put that on my list of trades to get at some point. Next, we got Assorted Crisis Events number 6, hitting the list. This was kind of the start of the second arc. It seems like several of these books, after a couple weeks ago, we had the number 1 and the number 2 on the list. People putting this on their year-end read list that has brought some interest and prompted sales of additional books. So this one is up to $20 to $25. Any thoughts here, Marcus?
Yeah, it's hard for me to believe in late numbered issues like that. So I'm gonna have to say I'll be back for that reason. But sometimes you see it where it's something like something is killing the children, where those later issues actually do have great value, and especially with the lower print run on this one before all the hype.
Yeah,
this one has a chance. I'm gonna say I'll be back, but I could really be wrong on this one.
no, and that kind of goes for our next book. I agree with you there. I think probably lower print run because people hadn't really, now that people are getting into it, like there wasn't as many of these because people weren't into it initially. Prompted is what's prompting the sales numbers to actually climb. Sort of the same thing with this. This is Assorted Crisis Events number 8. It's the one that just came out. The FOC for this closed before it hit the issue number 1 hit the list. So this is kind of the last one that orders would have been down on. Plus, they did kind of a unique thing here. It's on newspaper paper. So the paper for this one was like newspaper paper. That is in the, I don't know if the cover, but in the book, my understanding is it's like newspaper paper, which I think would make it very tough to get a high grade copy of. But that also was something that kind of prompted some interest here. Supposedly, they've already going to do a second print that's also going to be on newspaper style paper. $30 to $60 for this one, Marcus.
Same answer on this one. I could be wrong. I gotta say I'll be back, but this could be one of those outliers, kind of like early Ice Cream Man issues are kind of expensive, and this could be going the same direction. But I'm still gonna go. I'll be back.
No, I debated on I'll be back versus Trap. I feel like $60 just seems like super extreme for this. The $30 maybe more reasonable. It is kind of a unique book. It also was still a lower order than what some of the interest is now in this book. But I still would be very cautious with spending this kind of money on this book for sure. I think at least an I'll be back, if not a Trap. All right, next. Everything Dead and Dying on the list for the second week in a row. Last week we talked about it right after it came out, 15 to 30. At this point, and this is just a regular A cover, 30 to 60 on this new book. Your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with you on this one and say Trap. That seems like way too much money, but this one, it's hitting the list for the right reason, right? It's for the read, and so that makes me reluctant. Like maybe I need to go ahead and read this one and see what's going on. But coming from that space where I haven't read it, I'm gonna have to say I'll be back. But the right reasons might be going on here, and that's something you want to look at.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be the right reasons. I still feel like 30 to 60. Last week at 15 to 30, I was like, okay, I'll be back, whatever. 30 to 60 seems like a trap for any kind of like new indie book. Not to say that there aren't exceptions that maintain that kind of value. Things like Beneath the Trees, things like
so good.
Killing the Children. There are examples that hit like that and hold. But they're few and far between. There's far more of them that actually come back. And even if this just comes back and it's like a $20 to $30 book, you're paying way too much at 30 to 60, particularly if you're paying up towards 60, in my opinion. So that's where I'm at on this. I would be very cautious on putting out that kind of money for this book. I think last night it did this to me too, where the chat just like froze for a long time in StreamYard. I should have pulled open the YouTube chat, but because nobody's commenting, and I think so. If you're commenting and I'm not responding to your comments or showing them, it's because StreamYard did this to me last night too. So I don't know what's going on.
No, you're not missing anything.
Yeah, because I haven't
talk to us, people.
I haven't got any comments since Absolute Zatanna. So that's
the last one.
All right,
that's the last one.
We got Infernal Hulk #1, and this is just a new Marvel book getting some buzz. $15 to $20 for this book. 9.8 pre-sales already at $150. This book just came out. It's a 2026 book. Is it Philip Kennedy Johnson is on this? Oh, well, no. Next comment I got was Gordon says, "Ooh, Inferno." So, your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, I don't know anything about this one, so I'm coming.
I don't either. I'll be honest.
Yeah. 15 to 20. I know you have Worth It, but I love the Philip Kennedy Johnson. I love Nick Klein. I'm loving their run on Hulk, but I'm not actually up on the Infernal Hulk. I'm gonna say I'll be back. Given that,
so you're probably right. The reason I did put a 15 to 20 on this is clearly like something different is going on with Hulk. And I just remember my thought process immediately went back to Immortal Hulk and how long, like those issues eventually did come back, but it took a long time for those early Immortal Hulk stuff to crash. And thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. Sicko Tron saying this is the one he was talking to you about this morning.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Me. So there you go. So that was my thought process where I went with I put Worth It on it. I'm like, if this becomes something like the Immortal Hulk kind of thing, there's that kind of love for this already. I could see that carrying the book for a while. And at 15 to 20, it's not a crazy price. But that's me being overly optimistic. There's like one example where that really like holds up.
so rare.
It is very rare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally get that. Just doesn't give a crap about Hulk, and this is awesome. There you go. So
all right, then full endorsement from Sicko.
All right, next. We got, again, on third week in a row, actually, I think, for this one, Amazing Spider-Man number 11, first cover appearance of Symbii. He's actually also on the regular cover, but this variant is now, it was 10 to 20 for the previous 2 weeks. Now it's 10 to 40. There's still sales down toward the $15 range, but there's now also sales up to $40. I should have actually changed this. I put it as an I'll be back, and if you're on the low end, sure, or I guess I'd been putting it as Worth It, thinking that like at 10 to 20, if it was a kid's show, it might hold. Maybe I should shift this to a trap. I got it as an I'll be back. Your thoughts here, Marcus?
Yeah, I'm going whatever. Like this feels like a trap to me. Maybe this is the new Jeff the Land Shark, but that's unlikely, and I'm not willing to bank on that. So I'm saying trap. I don't, this is like Spider-Boy to me. It's nothing.
No. Completely understand. Look, as Venom heads, this happens every 8 months. They're going to put new Symbii. I mean, they are, but this one is already appearing in a cartoon targeted toward kids, so there is that. They're comparing him to Jeff. We'll see if he's cute enough to actually like make it work. But yeah, I would be hesitant now. It's getting stupid. Next, we got a trailer this week for the new animated Star Wars show, the Darth Maul show. And this is the first appearance of Darth Talon, and supposedly they're bringing her, who was from like the far future in the original Legend stuff, but they're bringing her to the current timeline as Maul, going to be Maul's apprentice. $25 to $50, 9.8, 150. Your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'll be back, but don't listen to me on Star Wars spec. Star Wars spec is confusing to me, and honestly, it feels like mostly bullshit. So don't listen to me. I don't believe in Star Wars spec for the most part.
The only thing I would hesitate about just calling this an outright trap is the fact that, if you've ever seen what this character looks like, she's obviously very sexy. Like once she becomes a Sith, obviously she's not going to be that sexy in the cartoon. But there is that kind of aspect to it. But the other thing is, timing wise, I'm not sure when this is actually supposed to come out. I think this summer, which means that this book for the 6-month thing might be okay. You might be okay. Longer term, look at any of the Star Wars books from any of the shows they've done in the last 5 or 6 years. Any of that Boba Fett stuff, all of the Inquisitors and the Black Chrysanthemum and any of that stuff, all of those books have crashed. So yeah, longer term, this is absolutely a trap, in my opinion.
That's Star Wars Legacy number 2, Gordon.
Yeah, Star Wars Legacy number 2. So our discussion was ain't no aggressively is not happy with that comparison. I'm just saying that's the comparison people were making aggressively. So Star Wars spec is slow moving snowball, but spec there is. Oh, there you go, Gordon. You got it. So I might wait till the show actually is coming out if you're wanting to move it. But next, we got Lobo #1. We got the trailer, or we got a little scene with Lobo here a couple weeks ago. Back on the list for the second week in a row. 10 to 25, and last week it was 10 to 20. This week it's 10 to 25. But last week 9.8, 180 to 230, basically the same price there. I still think this is probably worth it. This movie's going to be out this summer. At the very least, I think this is worth it through the movie and a little bit after, and potentially just this is not that much more than this book has gone for quite a while. Your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, I've been worth it every single time on this book, and I'm staying there. I identified this one pretty early as one of those books that was going to hit, because if you look at the earlier books, the first appearance and kind of the other ones, Lobo doesn't look like the Lobo we know now. Whereas on this one, this is the Lobo that we know now. This is the Lobo that Jason Momoa is going for. So I really feel like this is the one to go after over even the first appearance right now. In terms of speculation in the near term, I agreed with Tom on his video 100% on that. I'm worth it for this one. I think this is a great cover.
Yeah, this is really where he becomes the version of Lobo that we know. And so from that standpoint, this is also a very highly printed book. So I think it's a good choice. But I would not go crazy on it, I guess is my point. Because I don't know that the ceiling is very high here. I think the floor is like
$10 is the floor.
It's not gonna go down to it's not a very expensive book right now. And I don't think the floor is I think the 10 to 15, $10 to $20 for a raw copy is probably the floor anyway. So I don't think you have there's not much risk at current prices, but I would not go crazy above these. So that would be my thought on this book. Next, we got Action Comics 645, first appearance of Maxima, second week in a row. Last week it was 10 to 25. This week it's 15 to 35, basically. 9.8 still, it's the same most recent 9.8 sale. There's not a lot of 9.8 to this book, just under 250. Supposedly a character for the Superman sequel movie, which we're a long way away from at this point. So yeah, I put this as an I'll be back. Would not go crazy for Maxima, although she could be a fun character. I don't think she's going to be a character that's going to make any money. Your thoughts, Marcus?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the first Superman, and you had characters like the Engineer in there, and while there was a boost to the Engineer, it didn't go ham. And I think we're looking at the same thing here. There probably will be a boost to it, but it's not going to go ham. So I'll be back on this one. I'd definitely be cautious on this one.
For sure. Next, we got Daredevil 183, the first time Punisher and Daredevil fight with each other. We got a trailer for Daredevil season 2. They've done this in the show multiple times already, so there's no real spec here. I think Punisher is supposed to be back again. But yeah, $15 to $30, 9.8, 150, which is kind of just where this book sits. I put an I'll be back, but it's almost just mainly because of the 9.8s are a little high at the moment, but this is not that much. Raw side, 15 to 20 is probably more accurate to where this book should be, long term. But your thoughts, Marcus?
I'm going worth it on this one, but I've felt like this book was undervalued for a long time now. It's been a $10 book for a long time, and $10 just seems a little cheap for such a classic Frank Miller cover book and first meeting. So I'm worth it on this book. I feel like this one's been undervalued for a long time, and I think maybe it's going to finally get its due shine that it should be getting.
All right, next. 2 books left. Marcus won't want to comment on this book. Here, let me just mute him real quick. We got West Coast Avengers number 46, the first appearance of the Great Lakes Avengers, which includes Doorman, who has been in the Wonder Man show. Don't think we've seen any of the others yet.
Mr. Immortal.
Marcus has.
Mr. Immortal was in She-Hulk.
Oh, well, I meant in Wonder
Okay.
Man. That's what I meant. Yes, Mr. Amora was previously in She-Hulk. You were correct. All of it. Daymars, we're almost done. Your thoughts at $5 to $15 and 9.8, actually over 100 at 125. Your thoughts, Marcus?
Worth it, 100% worth it. Another criminally undervalued book and a criminally undervalued series. West Coast Avengers, the best Coast Avengers. Check them out. But no, this is a silly, fun book. And it's the one right after 45, which is the White Vision book. I don't know, So it's I feel like it's worth it. I feel like this has always been kind of a too cheap book. It should be more like a $20 book. But I am also extremely biased, as many of you know. But I'm sticking to that.
I look at these characters and I don't know that I could have told you the name of any of them.
Big Bertha, Dinosaur, Mr. Immortal, the Doorman, and I forgot the stretchy guy's name.
I mean, I guess Mr. Immortal I might have known the name for, but I'll be back. There's no reason to
Or Dinah. Her name is Dinah.
Marcus.
It has been a dollar bin book for a long time. But this is a book. I buy it every time I see it. I never leave this book sitting.
I know you love West Coast Avengers. I'm sorry to crap on them, but yeah.
No, it's all good.
These characters don't matter.
Super important. That's fine. You can be wrong.
Next, we got last, we got Wonder Man #1. His first solo series. Obviously, he had a one-shot before this. But this first solo series, still only $10, 9.8, still only 60. Speaking of a lot of these, the show is out. There's no real, I put this in I'll Be Back, although it really doesn't get cheaper than this. It doesn't get more expensive than this either. It appears there's no ceiling necessarily for this book, even though the show's got rave reviews. Maybe next week we'll come back and suddenly it'll jump. But I looked at values yesterday when I was checking these, and it was still, $10. Your thoughts, Marcus?
100% worth it. I love this show. It's funny, I was telling you before we started, but I binged the whole show in one sitting, and I wasn't sure I liked it the whole time, but at the end I was like, yeah, I definitely liked it. But I was like, everybody else is gonna hate it. I liked it, but everybody's gonna hate it. So I was quite shocked to get online and see everybody loved it too. I love this duo. I love the setup. I love the suit. I love that costume. It looks really dope on him. And so for that reason, I think this is worth it. I would buy as many copies as you had for $10 on this one. And I think you're going to get some value out of it. I think this book.
Well, there's a bunch of copies out there floating around. So
yeah. I think this book will go up. It may even be on the list next week, sitting at 10 to 20. I think there's a good chance of that.
We'll see. Is the show going to ruin these books? Like, man, no. The show. Everyone I've seen, I haven't seen one person like say the show was terrible. Like I've seen.
Yeah, I was shocked. I thought people were going to hate it.
Almost everyone I've seen every review I've seen has been super positive. Yeah. So yeah, it is not the dumpster fire that Madam Web was.
But if you're going in wanting some superhero fighting and stuff, there's none of that.
No,
there's none of that. But I love it.
All right. That is this week's list. We'll remove that thing. Do a quick shout out to my channel members. Just say a big thank you to those folks for supporting the channel. Appreciate all of you guys. I did do a giveaway on Saturday for all of those folks. We'll do a giveaway again at the end of February, and they get a first look at all of my pre-recorded videos. So they already have access to the video that's coming out Thursday. So big thank you to all those folks. Marcus, got anything else before we get out of here?
That's it. West Coast Avengers, go buy them all.
Not near Mint, on with you. The Wonder Man was a solid series, so there you go. Not done with it yet. I'm saying good so far. Not the normal Disney Marvel show. Well, there you go.
Not at all normal. No, it's a show. It's for creatives. Like if you're a creative, you're gonna see a lot of, and there's gonna be some cringy stuff, especially the opening scene where it's super cringy. But I highly recommend.
Okay. Well, you have a great week as well, Deep House. And with that, we're going to get out of here later, everybody. Thank you.